All right, so let me make sure I have my microphone all set up. All right, here we go. So, hello. Super excited to be with you guys today. And just a reminder on these lives, I'm going to dive straight into the topic and just answer any questions in the comments afterwards, just to keep these a little bit short for anyone who's watching the replay. But today, I am excited to share with you 10 healthy habits that you can start implementing right now to help you reach your health and fitness goals. And so these habits I want to focus on being sustainable for lifestyle changes that will really make a lasting impact. And so I do want to reiterate that this is not something to implement all at once. So we want to pick something that we feel like would be easy to implement and try it out. And once it feels like, okay, I'm like pretty consistent, I'm doing this, I feel like it's pretty easy to do every single day. It's not something that I'm really having to think about. We want to then pick another item and then go from there. And so this makes your health and fitness goals overall feel a little bit less daunting, and you're more likely to be successful, because if you try to take on too much at once, oftentimes this leads us to feeling more overwhelmed, and we're more likely to kind of shut down and be like, okay, like being healthy is not for me. So this helps us eliminate the all or nothing mentality when it and that's something that we can get into another live. So let's just go ahead right now and dive into the top 10 habits that we can implement now. So number one, shifting from outcome focus to process focus goals. Now, this is a mindset shift. This is not something that's like, eat more protein. But this is so important, and it's going to make your journey that much more enjoyable. So when we are only fixated on the end result, like a specific weight, if we have a goal weight in mind, or a specific appearance, like having abs, we want to shift our focus to instead not the outcome, but the process and the journey along the way to get there. So we want to set goals based on actions that you need to take, like, exercising a certain amount of time per week, or meal prepping every Sunday, or focusing on like how you're feeling along the way, and that can really help, and allows you to appreciate the journey and allow you to stay motivated. And so this is something that we talk with a lot about with our clients, because if you, let's say for example, you're 160 pounds and your goal weight is 130, if you're focused on the outcome every single day, you're going to wake up and you're not at your goal. So it's going to be really frustrating. It can feel like you're not going to ever get there, and you're more likely to give up, because every single day, I'm not at my goal, I'm not at my goal, I'm not at my goal, versus like, oh man, my goal for today is to get 10,000 steps. My goal for this week is to work out 2 to 3 times a week, something like that. It's just going to make the process that much more enjoyable. And then number 2 is move your body and prioritize steps and activity. So we want to try to incorporate activity and movement into our daily routine. So, you can aim for a daily step goal. I think it's really important, if you're only getting a couple thousand a day, that we don't want to just jump right into 10,000. But finding that goal number for you, and just trying to find more ways to just overall increase your activity level. So whether it's taking the stairs, going for short walks throughout the day, dancing around with your kids in the living room, every little bit of movement counts. And this helps me a lot, especially when I'm feeling maybe a little bit lazy. But doing chores like vacuuming, things like that, it's just an additional way for me to get in extra movement, and also help with my house cleanliness. Okay, number 3 is to drink your water. And so staying hydrated is just very vital just for your overall health, but it can also aid in weight management. So there's an extra little bonus for that. So we want to aim for at least half of your body weight in ounces of water each day. For example, if you weigh, again, 160, you should be drinking at least 80 ounces of water a day, and especially more if you are a very active individual. So you can try carrying a water bottle with you. It just kind of serves as a constant reminder to drink up throughout the day. So I typically always have my Stanley on hand, which I don't today. It's over on the counter, but I always have my Stanley with me. I take it with me everywhere I go. Even if I'm running out of the house for what I think, maybe 30 minutes, I always have it with me. So it's just a constant reminder. All right, number 4 is prioritizing yourself and food and fitness. So we want to think about prioritizing these things as self-care. And so trying to carve out time throughout the week, whether it's to get in workouts, whether it's to meal prep, whether it's to go on a walk, anything like that, that we want to remember that taking care of ourselves enables us to show up better for those around us, whether it's your family, your friends, coworkers, but especially for our kids, so that we know that when we have that time to ourselves, we just show up better as parents, as spouses. And so thinking about, I need to prioritize myself. And something that has really, really helped me recently is, and I always know this, but just seeing this message a lot, so hopefully it resonates with you guys, is thinking about, what habits do, or not just habits, but what characteristics do I want to instill in my children? And so I do want them to be healthy. I do want them to prioritize self-care. So they need to see me doing that. So I need to model that for them. So it feels selfish, but you're setting a really good example for your kids. So it's kind of a win-win for everyone. And number 5, this is a touchy subject for moms, especially if we have younger kids, because we know how hard it is, but we want to get good quality sleep each night. And so this is something that I actually am still currently having to battle through, because it's really, really hard when, again, your kids are sleeping and you feel like, okay, this is now time for me to get things done around the house. And so I battle this quite a bit, but quality sleep is crucial for recovery, mental clarity, and just overall mental well-being. So I do need to remember that despite my night owl tendencies, I do need to go to bed early and try to aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. So having a calming bedtime routine and having adequate sleep hygiene will ensure that your sleep environment is conducive to rest. So that's really, really important, and can be one of the things that's really holding you back from your fat loss goals and weight loss goals, is if you are not sleeping or not sleeping well. And number 6, so these kind of go hand in hand, is unplugging from social media and technology at night. So it is really hard, especially if it's like, oh my gosh, bedtime was so hard, the day was hard, I want to disassociate and just sit here and be a zombie. But taking a break from screens in the evening can really improve your sleep quality, because you're not looking at blue light right before bed, which is going to signal to your brain that we still need to be awake. It's daytime and to stay up. And not only that, it's really good for our mental health, just taking time away from social media. So setting a time each night to unplug, from not just social media, but TV, your computer, and just kind of allowing your mind to wind down properly before bed. So not only is this going to help sleep quality, but it can help you fall asleep quicker. I like to kind of journal a little bit before bed as well, to kind of get all of my thoughts out, especially if it's like my to-do list, and that will really help. So the other thing that I've done is I've put a quiet mode. I've enabled that on my phone, so I have to actively tell my phone, ignore, yes, I'd like to go into this app, and it makes me that much less likely to use those things. And I try to do it at least an hour before bed. If you do, for whatever reason, have to be on your computer, you have to be on your phone. Oh, my daughter might be waking up. Having blue light blocker glasses can really help. Oh my gosh, my cat is right there. She's not gonna go back to sleep. I think she's back down. But again, allowing your mind to wind down before bed. So number 7 is prioritizing strength training, resistance training, and building muscle. So it is really easy to chase calories burned, but we want to make sure that we are incorporating strength training into our routine at least 2 to 3 times a week. So building muscle not only improves your body composition, but it also boosts your metabolism and can support your overall health. So you don't need to go to a gym. You don't need to have a home gym. Just having something as simple as body weight exercises or resistance bands can be effective as well. But we want to make sure that we are working towards building muscle and strength training. That's going to be really, really important, and it's going to give you definitely more bang for your buck than just doing cardio. And number 8, when it comes to food, we want to focus on moderation overindulging or deprivation, so the two ends of the spectrum. So we want to make sure that we are opting towards moderation instead of restrictive dieting. This allows you to enjoy your favorite foods while still being mindful of portion sizes. So this balanced approach really helps with like preventing feelings of deprivation, which can lead to a healthier relationship with food. So instead of being like, oh, I got to cut out carbs and sugar and alcohol and bread and all these things, allowing yourself to have them, allowing yourself to have your favorite foods, but just in moderation. So we're not having huge portion sizes. But it's for example, I used to go crazy for Oreos. If I had them in the house, I'd eat like a whole sleeve, feel really guilty over them, and then I just felt like I couldn't have them in the house. And then one day when I kind of switched from clean eating to a macros approach, and I kind of allowed to give myself an option to have Oreos, I would have Oreos, and I'd have them before bed. And instead of eating a whole sleeve, I would have a couple. And I just know, okay, well, I can have Oreos again tomorrow. I can have them again the next day. And they started to lose their appeal. And I no longer really care for Oreos that much or really want them, because I don't really need them because I'm allowed to have them. I'm just choosing not to have them. So that is something that we really, really preach with our clients. And number 9 is getting a little bit long, is spending time outside and getting some vitamin D. So we want to make sure that this is a daily habit. So whether it's a walk in the park, hiking, or simply going outside or in your front yard for just 5 minutes a day, connecting with nature, boosting your mood and your energy levels. But really it is the sunshine, right? And providing yourself with that essential vitamin D that we need. And that can also really, really help with our circadian rhythm and sleep, is getting sunlight directly in our eyes first thing in the morning. And number 10, this is also a really important one, is trying to focus on you and not compare your journey to others. So everyone's journey is unique, and we want to really focus on your progress and what works best for you instead of comparing yourself to others. Because if you don't, it can be really easy to focus on all the things that you're not doing or don't have. So celebrating your achievements, and understand that health and fitness are personal journeys, and they're not competition. So we don't need to be focused on Susie down the street who bounced back, 6 weeks after having a kid, when we're 6 months or even a couple years postpartum. Like, thinking about your journey and making progress every single day is going to get you that much closer to reaching your goals than it is focusing on the progress that other people are making. So by implementing these 10 healthy habits, I love that they are also realistic, and you can really create meaningful and lasting change in your health and fitness journey. And so again, it's really about consistency and finding what works best for you. So let me know in the comments if any of this resonated with you. And thank you for joining me today. And I'm excited to see the positive impact these habits will have on the rest of your life. So we'll keep crushing it and moving forward.